So we have something here called End of First Man. You guys recommended I watch it.
Okay, guys, welcome back. It's been a long time. This actually feels strange. It actually feels really weird talking to a camera. I think I've been off camera for like a month, if not 6 weeks. It's a skill you definitely lose. Like I said before to you guys, if you don't, you get better at things that you do often. So, but I've had a change of heart, and the reason I keep looking at my phone is I wrote something down. Okay, it's like over the last month or so, let's say the last like 2 or 3 months, my energy's been going lower. I've been feeling a little bit worse, and I was like, what's wrong with me? Because I used to love this industry. It's all I wanted to do. This was my dream job. So I just kind of stopped recording content and just thought, do you know what? I'll stop and have a think. Let's see how I feel. And yeah, I don't want to make this too fucking dramatic, 'cause that's what so many YouTubers do, but I wrote down so many different things on my phone. I was just going out for walks, just sitting on benches, just like when I was away in places, I was just sitting and thinking, and when I had like a spare hour or whatever. And yeah, I've put something together, and I wrote this when I was kind of at my angriest, and then I scaled it back, and I think this is perfect. It's a really good balance, but at the end, I'm then going to sum it up again, okay? But I've never asked you to do this before, but I asked you guys to please watch until the end, because I think this video is, if you're going to watch any video today on YouTube, make it this one. And I've never asked you to do that before, but I think it's really important with what I'm about to say. And also, guys, the testosterone and muscle boosters are back in stock, and so that's the diuretic is back in stock, and that's the old version. This is the new version. So as you can see, it looks way better, but also it's got 90 tablets instead of 60, and you still take 2 a day. So and the ingredients have been bumped up, so there's a lot more. You're getting way more value for money, so that's ready to go. But I gotta read this to you, so don't panic on the first line as well, guys. Watch until the end. But I'm leaving the men's lifestyle space. I've grown sick and tired of this new age rhetoric. It's no longer about helping men, it's become about follower counts, who can say the craziest things, and who can line their pockets with the biggest profit margins from wildly overpriced courses. I've done a lot of research into the biggest names in the industry, and they're faking their net worths, earnings, lying about successful companies that got them their initial wealth. One quick check on Companies House, and you can see they're either complete liars or should be locked up for tax evasion, hence why everyone's based in either Romania or Dubai. The exact thing these people try and protect you from, the Matrix, is exactly what they are. They get richer whilst...
That sounded like a direct shot at somebody. It's not me, if you haven't noticed.
Providing you nothing in return, knowing that unless you're willing to be corrupt or cheat, you can't copy what they've done. You might think you're part of a men's group or you have all the info you need in a course, but in reality, you'll be no better off in 5 years. Most people in this space now are teaching young men how to become successful, but their entire strategy is start a YouTube channel and sell a course. I'm also sick of the type of content. Someone makes a video, the one thing that will make you successful. I have to ask, why didn't you release this right away? Why did it take you 3 years to tell us? Oh, because you just thought of it. The authenticity and genuine motives have gone. Now it's all about wearing a suit, smoking a cigar, and posing for photos to prove you're a high-value man.
Yeah, this one's targeted. Who does that sound like?
How many things can you repeatedly say in slightly different ways before you're no longer providing any real value, but rather milking the most out of your audience before you fall into obscurity like every YouTuber eventually does? I think this is disingenuous to sit and think of content, then make a video pretending this is something you didn't just make a list about an hour earlier. It's weak, fluffy content that people subscribe to, so they feel as though they're doing something proactive. I'd like to get on.
That's a very good point, man. I'm struggling with this right now for the second channel because I don't want to fall into the trap of like 6 ways to this. Do this to increase your testosterone, blah, blah, blah. The only silver lining I can see with making that kind of content is to draw in new eyes that eventually will stumble upon the real breadth of work. Because, okay, the idea for the second channel is to make like the ultimate repository, essentially, for men and masculinity, A to Z, from like the absolute basics, the basics of like hygiene, how to shave, something so stupid, how to cut your beard, right? How to maintain your beard, something super basic, ground up to the most advanced stuff, and it be in a sense a timeless channel that men coming into manhood, boys, can go click on the channel and they have literally every single thing that they would ever need. I mean, that's a tall task and there's so many things to cover and answer, but I want to add that in there mixed in with some of the lifestyle stuff, the hiking stuff, the networking stuff that I'm thinking of doing. It's taking some time, but yeah, the basics, guys. That's what we're trying to do at the second channel. So we got everything ready, little teleprompter, all that stuff to make, not off the top content, but actual thoughtful, written down things that it took like a few days for a script and some research and everything. That way everybody, like a virtual dad, a virtual uncle, virtual bro that could help you along your journey. Because every man's got questions. Not every man has a father, a brother, an uncle, present, anything masculine. That's a problem today more and more. It is a tall order, dude, and it's probably something that's going to take years, and it's going to require a lot of growth from me as well. That's the truth, because there's a lot I don't know. There's a lot I have to learn myself. I'm growing alongside with you guys. I just have enough experience in certain areas to get the ball rolling. But what's the alternative?
Do something of real worth again and build something that has substance in the real world. You think, right, Tate, as an example, has 1.4 million Rumble followers, meaning 1 in every 5,000 people follow Tate. In Cheltenham, where I live, that's around 24 guys. Like, these guys are delusional. This sounds weird because I sent this to somebody before. Like, these guys are delusional. They believe Tate's taking over. Everyone's into him. But real world people don't care. In London, with the same maths, that's 1,500 Tate subscribers. Very few people are actually following him and his advice. Now, I get it'll be diluted by other regions of the world, but it does highlight a big flag here. He and others like Iman have done a great job convincing these guys into thinking it's a movement, when in reality it's a bunch of under 18 incels who are living vicariously through them, making them richer and getting no further down the path themselves. It's literally exactly the same as the governments and brands, etc., that they now call the Matrix. They get richer, the people who follow them get a course that does nothing actionable for their life for an extortionate price, just to feel as though they belong to a men's group. In reality, these men are lonely, wanting to feel part of something, and the biggest names are preying on this for financial gain. If you genuinely are as rich as you say you are, and you genuinely want to help men, why is your course priced at 1,500? A price barely anybody under 25 can afford without their life suffering in another sense. We've lost class and real-world gut-feeling excitement. When my mentor took me to Paris all those years ago at 22, and I started dreaming about what my life could be, the men I could emulate, it felt like the world was starting to open up. All the possibilities, I could do whatever I wanted. I was excited to work, discuss, dream, paint a vision for you guys. I wanted to be Vincent Cassel in Ocean's 12 or Daniel Craig in Casino Royale. That classy, cultured gentleman with money, well-dressed, poised, the beautiful woman on my arm, and ultimately an interesting life. Homes in Paris surrounded by culture, drive a Jaguar E-Type around the Amalfi Coast, wine and a late night coffee at a Turin cafe, speaking fluent Spanish at a tapas bar on La Ramblas in Barcelona. This is why I began doing this job. This is the lifestyle I thought had meaning within experiences, friends, family, travel, cuisine, and so forth. This got me out of bed every morning and encouraged me to make a video after video, inspiring you guys. The other side of male life, the male advantage, king for a day, balling on a budget, all of these videos were birthed out of that idea. But today, the men
I have to read this one from Angela. Bo, keep sharing your personal stories like when you started your day trading. I took a shot then, seen how it works. Took a supplement you recommended, MSM, and after 6 months nonstop, I feel great. Yeah, dude. I remember that episode where we were talking about that. The MSM cured I don't know what I had, guys. You can see it in the Spartan challenge video. I was developing some autoimmune response to the food. I had a red dry patch appearing on my skin. Is that eczema or rosacea? Which one is that one? Anyways, cleaned up the diet. That didn't make it go away. And then I ended up finding out that what I'm probably doing is I'm consuming glyphosate as a byproduct of the processing of the food I was eating, whether it was veggies or fruits or whatever it is. But yeah, MSM helps the body clear glyphosate out of your system. And it's very potent when combined with sauerkraut juice. Psoriasis, is that what it is? Whatever it is, dude, it's very weird. It goes away. Yeah, for those asking what MSM is, look up MSM sulfur. Just search that.
Lifestyle space has become tacky.
Oh, and by the way, if you do buy MSM, make sure it's the crystals only. Don't buy some weird shit like a pill. Make sure it's the crystal and you just swallow it whole with some water. And that's it. And take it religiously every day. It helps clear your body of the toxins. It really does. It worked for me personally. I don't have a link to sell you this shit or share it. Just find it on Amazon or something, wherever you are. Personal story. It worked for me. It worked for the guy that just brought it up. That's why I brought it up.
Which is the perfect word for it. Wads of cash, an expensive watch collection, an expensive bottle of shit, a cigar, shades, and always in Dubai for some reason. This industry is no longer about helping men or chasing a life worth living. It's veered over to look at me and how much better I am than everyone else. I worked with a man worth 100 million who had a Corniche watch worth £500 and rode to work on his bike. He owned a house in South Kensington, one in Knightsbridge, was building a home in Italy on Lake Como, and ate at the finest London restaurants every night with his partner, a beautiful 6-foot Californian woman.
I had this realization in college, the thing he's talking about, like all these people that make a ton of money, but they're empty and dead inside. I was going to college, guys, it was either going to land at dentistry or being a lawyer. And I wanted to hang up my own shingle or have my own clinic. The ultimate plan was working for myself, to be my own business owner and have my destiny under my own control. I didn't want to work in a cubicle. I felt like that was hell on earth. That was like death by 1,000 cuts, essentially. So I ended up meeting out in Hollywood, out in LA area in general, in California where I was at going to college, that the dentist that I met, although rich, multi-millionaires, the lawyers that I met, multi-millionaires, and the girls that I had experiences with when I went to Vegas, who had boyfriends back in California that were dentists and lawyers, all the same stories, man. Guys were divorced on a like cocaine and hookers lifestyle, super unhappy, deep into materialism to soothe away their like unending depression and sadness, buried themselves in their work. That was essentially their final identity. They identified with their work and that was it. The girls that I was sleeping with at the time, that some of them happened to be dating these guys and would pillow talk me and tell me like how boring they were and how their whole entire personality was their work. Nonstop, the moment they opened their mouth to the moment they closed it was whatever was happening at work. Boring individuals that couldn't even keep side pieces or girlfriends happy and loyal. And these men were like, dude, a different car for every day of the week, multiple millions in a bank account, houses in the hills that are worth upwards of $10+ million, and your life is in fucking shambles, bro. That was like my sign that this is not the lifestyle I want. If it's going to be a lawyer where I have no work-life balance and I'm a slave to the firm, no thanks. If I'm going to be a dentist and have a good work-life balance, but, up in people's mouths, and then my work-life relationship is still shit because I'm depressed because my job and fuck knows whatever else that dentist was going through. And it just seemed like every fucking dentist. And the statistics when you look up dentists are like the most depressed profession there is. Why is that? They have like the highest rates of end game moves. It's very strange.
Who was the CEO of a major company. He spent his money on experiences. He lived in the real world, and that's become my biggest issue. This industry that I felt I had a hand in starting, or at least in its modern format on YouTube, looks more like the Forex and stock traders of the 80s and 90s, where anyone could get a job in the industry and sound like an expert by simply throwing out a few terms such as FTSE or S&P. It's no different today. If you're 18, just rent expensive stuff, set up a podcast in your mum's basement, and call everybody else stupid or broke or a hoe, and you'll be entered into the high value man Hall of Fame among these other scammers. Chris Williamson recently highlighted how the red pill encourages.
Yeah, I've stopped watching. I've completely retuned my social media use. That's why you guys haven't even seen me on stream that much. I haven't streamed as well because I could have done a basic setup, but I took a break. Same reason probably why he took a break. It's mind numbing, dude. The content that's coming out now, I'm not even aware of much of it. It still gets recommended. I had to sign out of my account, create a fresh one, a guest account, and only start liking specific podcasts and stuff that was informative. Because whatever the algorithm is recommending me now is absolute horseshit. That's all in the manosphere red pill space. And I can't watch any of the stuff anymore. It's absolute brain dead fucking material that's becoming more and more radicalized and extreme to get more and more views and clicks. Shit. Besides the basic tenets, there's nothing here of value anymore. It's already been overtaken. There's grifters everywhere. It's all a money ploy. I'm surprised it's not getting psyoped by 3-letter agencies where they're inserting their own agents and pretending that it's still some kind of woke movement that's helping men and all this other bullshit when, leadership is like secret CIA shit like feminism was. Well, I don't know. It can be a psyop. Nobody knows at this point, dude. The moment something gains some steam, that's when the agents come. If anyone has inflammation, including inflammation from C19, I use N-acetylcysteine and bromelain to heal my gut. Thanks, Mike. Let me put that up for people.
Men to sleep around, but they then call all women whores for sleeping around, meaning they're contradicting themselves by creating the women they hate. These guys are no different than the women with high body counts pretending to be future wives. If you promote fatherhood, family values, religious beliefs and so on, yet live the life of a playboy, you're a hypocrite. In an industry where the main aim is to help men, we now call them brokies, and anybody with a 9-to-5 job is seen as less than. The constant lies around net worth, how many tens somebody sleeps with, how they've never made mistakes is actually contributing to more mental health issues than before. The pressure when a 23-year-old says he's worth 88 million is enormous. Every other man now feels inferior and depressed. When in
Yeah, thanks, Angel. It's garbage now. I hate it. Nothing about family anymore, just pandering. Yeah. And then Ryan, same thing with me. This is basically the only Red Pill channel I watch. I don't really even consider it Red Pill. I cleaned house a few months ago. Yeah. I'm trying to pull away, guys. That's why we were covering some of the other stuff earlier. I know you've noticed it. You saw that we were branching out on completely different topics because there's no point. Someone said Myron is a literal Fed. Yeah. That's why we were watching the Y-Files. We were watching stuff on like conspiracy theories and society at large. And there's other stuff that we're going to cover here that's completely off topic because that's far more intellectually fulfilling than repeating some of this shit and watching like absolute low IQ people argue it out, around like a round table where they need to be explained in like child terms, men and women. Ugh.
In reality, a simple company's house check, which I encourage you to do if you can figure out who I'm talking about, will make you realize the whole industry is lying to you in order to increase profits, views, and fame. An independent net worth valuation will have that same man at $5 million, roughly the amount of money he's made from YouTube, call sales, and NFTs, which to me is disgusting. It's misleading millions of men who are all going to be left.
Someone says Zerka is a controlled op. Is he designed to bring the whole space down by being like super radical and extreme?
In a worse position in 5 years as the creator's life gets better, but the subs fail to see the same results in their own life. I see this industry as a sinking ship, and I'm getting off early as I don't want to be associated with anybody or any of this. When the truth gets out that I have found and have had presented to me by others, this entire industry will crumble, and I wouldn't be shocked if many go to prison for rape, money laundering, tax evasion, and more. Having this information for a while and seeing how the industry has evolved, it's made myself feel slightly depressed, negative, and constantly angry. This is something I wanted to get off my chest for my own mental health and for my audience's sake, but more so to get away and focus on the continuation of building my real physical business that has value in the real world and will actually exist 5 years from now. As quickly as these fame whores came into this industry, I promise they'll be on their way out even quicker when things go wrong. Don't forget, when I first started making James Bond body language analysis videos on YouTube at 23, the man many think leads this industry was trying to become a celebrity on Big Brother, a trashy reality TV show that sees people dying to be famous perform scripted scenes for views, something that we're seeing currently on YouTube. The industry has a serious fault right now, which is a lot of young men using videos as motivation or as something that temporarily uplifts them, but then not taking action off the back of this. In theory, if all of our content is genuinely good and helps you, surely there would come a time where you don't need it anymore and have become successful yourself. How many of you have become wealthy, in shape, and have a 10 on your arm, stepping out of your own supercar? Not many, right? Now answer this. If this content is so good, then how many content creators do you see with the beautiful 10 on their arm? Again, barely anyone, because it's the one thing you can't fake. Once you step back, like I recently have, you realize these.
Yeah, what's cool is I made an American friend here. Like I told you guys in that one story in the video, I made an American friend that helped me get this apartment through his connections. And funny enough, dude, story of the day. Today, he was texting me. He literally texted me. Might be watching it, Steph. Shout out to you. Dude said, fucking left America and started playing League of Legends again. LOL, what the fuck? And then I wrote to him, bro, absolutely no, in all caps. And says, I told him I'm grabbing coffee, you home. Here's the message so you could see. Sure, there's nothing personal on there. Boom, bro. Is there nothing personal on there? Yeah, cool. You can't see nothing. There you go. Saved bro from playing video games, at least today. So yeah, in case you can't see it, dude said he started playing video games again, wasn't coming out of his house. Told the dude to come join me. We went on a walk that's like 3 miles to the coffee shop. We went on a decent sized walk way out there to coffee and had a fucking chat, dude, for like 30 minutes, an hour. Then had another fucking long ass journey back, dude. And we had, I had coffee and he got some lemonade with hibiscus made in-house, squeezed fresh to death. Dude doesn't drink coffee, but he said that was one of the best lemonades he's ever had. And that's it. Boom. Chopped it up, went home. The dude was like, thanks, bro. You stopped me from playing League of Legends today. I'm like, bro, make this part of your journey. It's not an issue. One change at a time, one day at a time, but you have to be there. Yeah, we need to bring male spaces back. We do indeed.
These people are giving advice on things that they don't have. How many of the creators that you follow have a real business inside the real world outside of their channel? How many have nothing but digital products? How many give you a vague backstory of their success? How many have ever admitted to not being good at something, not being perfect, not being super?
Yeah, part of the red pill that I'm really starting to hate is the hypocrisy around marriage. When you do call women whores or talk shit about their body count, but you yourself are literally indulging in the same thing, but then you try to skirt the argument with, but we're men and we're different, which yes, that's true, but it doesn't mean you don't have your word, as in you marry a woman and you already preface the marriage with, but I need multiple women in my life. I can't. It's not about control. It's just my drive as a man. It's absolute fucking horse shit. You mean the many men before you that have chosen to abide by their word, that have control, the Stoics that said be in control, one of the nature of man, one of the most sexual control, where really some people in the red pill space are literally arguing that they can't sexually control themselves and that they shouldn't because they worked so hard, now hit their 30s and they deserve to be fucking like 10 different women a week. I'm in my prime now, but I also want a virgin. That's like the fucking food video we just watched. I'm eating cereal and fucking pancakes every day and sugary OJ. Why do I have diabetes? I'm fucking 10,000 women in a year. Why are there so many whores? I can't find a decent woman. Fucking stupid. Doesn't it sound stupid? Anybody with half a brain listens to that shit and rolls their eyes like, bro, what? Marcus Aurelius would slap the shit out of you. What is happening?
Rich, getting rejected once and so on. They give you this air of invincibility to sell shit to you, as you see them as father figures with all the answers. Truth is, they haven't accomplished these things yet themselves. All they have is a bit more money than you, mainly because you gave them that money. The only reason they're successful is because they became successful telling you how to become successful, which is legal fraud. Terms like top 1% man used to be a challenge. We would discuss what that man would look like, how he would operate, how we could get there, and it was fun to keep growing, getting better, etc. Now that same term, top 1% man, is used by everyone to self-describe how great they are. Male egos in this space are getting bigger than the female egos so many men complain about. Now we have podcasters kicking girls off set because they valued him an 8. From this point onwards, I am no longer part of the men's lifestyle industry. In fact, I might be one of the only people with real products and a registered business. I don't want anything to do with that way of living. I'm going back to my core fundamentals when I came up with unique ideas in my own lane. I want to be a real man in the real world, not some internet character that acts like an 18-year-old. I don't think that's ever been me, but when you're in this industry, you take inspiration from others without knowing it and can be slightly influenced on an unconscious level. I have my own streaming platform now. I'd like to act, direct, start my sports management company, host live sports events on my platform, all real-world things you can see, touch, enjoy day to day. Most of these creators now sit in a room all day making videos. Their actual lives suck. Just think, how bad must a man's life be if all he does all day is complain about women in a dark room, reacting to things they've said on social media? This industry, this job is lonely. Very few people will tell you that. You spend 90% of the day on your own and get thousands of comments that boost your ego, telling you you're either the GOAT or another classic W, or that you never miss. It's very easy to start seeing yourself as that deluded top 1% man. When I'm conducting business, working with others, on dates, talking with everyday people, they don't know about our industry. And if they do, they laugh and say it's all incels. I was trying to build a community that got away from that was respected in the real world, but we've been dragged back in. On top of this, the fake classy high-level man is making things worse, as so many guys now believe they're something they're not, posing for photos like women on nights out. It's created delusion when men at 21, with no money, no assets, no personality, life skills, or anything to offer are...
Thanks, Andre. I appreciate your comment, bro. It helps me keep going. Fuck yeah. Oh shit, dude.
Starting a podcast with an iPhone and giving life advice on here's the thing about women or how I created generational wealth.
$49.99 if you want to know how to text girls, just DM me on Instagram. Got you. $49.99. I'll tell you how to text women. I repeat, I am the GOAT. What did you write? And I never miss. Good shit. W's in the chat. Oh shit. Omni, what's going on, brother? I haven't seen you in a minute. That's because I also haven't been streaming in a minute. Some of these so-called high-value men advocate having multiple wives. Super fucking cringe. That's the truth. But yet they don't show how they will make that work. Just be rich, bro. Managing multiple wives and children sounds chaotic to me. Just hire help, bro. That's why you got multiple wives. They do everything. A real man has sexual discipline and can make one marriage work. Oh shit. Ain't that something? Appreciate the support, brother.
As a man who lives in the real world, I'm begging you guys to get outside and do more. Build real long-term sustainable businesses. Get high-level jobs. It doesn't mean you're a brokey. Have a desire to become a father when financially ready. Take care of others. Have normal conversations in the real world. Everyday normal people talk about hobbies, interests. They ask questions about how their families are. Watching a bunch of podcasts just makes you a little bit weird. You end up having arguments regarding body counts or the role of a woman on a first date and coming across as a complete pencil. It seems to me everyone's so busy trying to convince others they're a high value man that very few are actually living day to day and experiencing life. Instead of meeting a woman they like for who she is and how she makes them feel, they're thinking who would give me the most high value man points and get the most respect from all the other guys who also smoke cigars. Statements such as when women cheat it's different, a man should be able to cheat, will have real world good women walking out of the door. Instead of building real businesses and reinvesting to create a sustainable future, guys are now dropping hundreds of thousands on designer products just to increase views or bag a gold digger to fill a void.
Yeah, that's super cringe now. Guys buying designer to create an image for Instagram to try to sell reality. Do you guys remember that one skinny dude? He was super cringe. He made his whole identity a fucking McLaren or some shit like that. And he was just trying to copy Tate. He looked like a fucking pencil little skinny nerd. And he just appeared and he disappeared just as quickly. That's gonna happen more and more in the community because there's money. Yeah, there's money to be made, dude. And it's unfortunate because that's speaks to the symptom of how lost men are, that turds like that can actually get a platform very quickly with hundreds of thousands, millions of views from young men that don't know any better, never had masculine presence in their life, and eat that shit up. That little skinny pencil car dude, he fucking lives on a diet of soy and bug sandwiches. His body told us as much. It's pathetic, dude. Listen, as far as authenticity goes, if the guy you're following or taking advice from does not read books, does not listen to at least audibles of fucking books, bro, is not talking about ideas from book, knowledge from the men before him, or doesn't take care of his body physically, don't fucking listen to that person. If he looks like a fat turd or a skinny nerd, that's nobody to be respected and listened to. I don't give a fuck. That could come off as much as an asshole and a hot take as you wanted. I will never take advice from a dude that doesn't take care of his mind and his body. The two most important things we have in this world and the only two things we can fucking 100% control in this world. It's like, yeah, exactly. Someone in the chat just said trusting a dentist with bad teeth. No thanks, bro. I'll pass. I don't take money advice from a broke motherfucker either. It's the same damn concept. You gotta look the part at the very least. That will eliminate like 90% of the people in this space right away if men actually follow that. Mind, body, and spirit, indeed. Shout outs to all the Spartan challengers.
Of emptiness that the life being taught to them by their idols actually leads nowhere. I see men acting more like Barbie dolls these days, all sat in groups, shades on, smoking a cigar with zero purpose. They don't actually know why they're doing this. They're constantly trying to sit in an alpha way. They went out and bought some shoes with tassels and the cheapest Rolex so that they could complete the new wanky fuckboy image. All while somebody like me invests $900,000 in a year back into a business and is yet to own a watch. I don't have a supercar, but I have 5 coaches, soon to be 6 for boxing, leg days, languages, golf, and more. I don't have Gucci shoes, but I retired my mum. This industry has started to lean towards showing off rather than substance.
Fire, and I feel that comment.
Perfect.
100%. By January, my father will have been retired and I'm moving both my parents to Romania and they're good. I already pay most of their bills, but I'll be retiring them permanently here by the end of this year. And that was always the plan. That was one of the major arcs of me moving to Eastern Europe, was to reunite my family with my extended family, have us all in one place so that when I eventually start my family, I will have my whole entire lineage close to me and my progeny so they could have the best success in life. That's thinking 10 fucking steps ahead. That's not thinking for me. That's thinking for my future bloodline. This is how men should be thinking. These are the lessons we should be giving out to one another. You need to move in life for the future of your sons. That's a man.
One financial crash or recession and the whole thing crumbles because it's built on fickle, unsustainable foundations. My dad taught me how to fish, fight, run a business, calculate, start a fire, sprint training, making a bow and arrow, hunt rabbits, stalk deer, lay concrete, drive, cycle, ride motorbikes, play sports, play cards, play dominoes, and so much more. Where are those men and role models today? They're all busy taking photos with a cigar in their mouth, telling you if you don't buy their course for £10,000, the Matrix will come in the night and chop your dick off. Over the next few years, I want to show you guys how to become real men of value with real world skills. A good father with a strong support unit around you and experiences that will make you happier than any gold Ferrari ever could. I'd like to introduce you guys to the real world. let you see inside my day-to-day life, working on the streaming platform, making and launching new products, sitting in meetings with me, almost like Gary Vee used to or Ryan Serhant does. The manosphere just isn't for me anymore, especially as a 30-year-old man who wants a life now. My old content, I still truly believe.
Someone said, are you planning some events for men in Romania eventually and in around the world? We just have to build the community large enough yet. I don't want to start recommending it until I nail down some courses when you join that you'll have access to immediately. But I want to get something fleshed out so you guys have some value off the rip on top of the Spartan Challenge and the next Spartan Challenge, the 2.0 one. I just want to have a baseline of information available to you guys so you can hit the ground running. What it's really about is networking. So that's why the events, once we start earning enough money to host events and pay for everything, that way all you guys do is just cover tickets and we have, places to sleep, places rented out, ready to rock, do hiking trips, stuff like that. Oh, it's amazing. That's been a goal since before we started the public Discord server. That's essentially what the public Discord server was meant to be until it got fucking nuked by the woke admins, which is fine. So we're moving over into a private direction, which leads to more quality, members anyways. But yes, eventually we want to make this into an event where we can have, dude, imagine hosting an event with like 30, 40, 50 people and we're sitting down in a hall, just having a conversation, answering questions, sharing stories, planning out things to do locally. I don't know if I even mentioned this in the Spartan Challenge video. I think that's where I first mentioned it, but grow the group big enough to like, imagine one of you owns a coffee shop in a city that we happen to be hosting an event to, and then all Legion or tribe members, whatever our name happens to be, then everybody from this community that's attending that event visits your coffee shop, spends all the money there, boost your business up simply because you're one of us and we want to support you and support our own. And that'd be cool, dude. If we could get to that eventually one day, how fucking sick would it be? Or maybe you own an Airbnb, bro, of some fucking mega mansion house on the hillside somewhere that we might need to use for events. We would gladly put money in your pocket. You know what I mean? Like, imagine the connections built up. Maybe some of you are dentists. Some of you are lawyers. Some people that we could recommend the group inside in the network to go to. Many men have skills. Need to build a house? We know a guy. Need to frame up a roof? We know a guy. Need something with electricity or plumbing? We got a guy. Need finances put in order? We know a dude. Stuff like that. Imagine, man, this is like, we're thinking way out there, dude, way in the future, deep, but we got to lay the foundations. Yeah.
Believing it's 100% needed to get you where I am today. But I want to be the creator who actually shows you the other side of male life rather than always talking about it. My old heroes were Tom Ford, David Gandy, Vincent Cassell, men who actually reached heights in their own industries and lived their lives in the real world. I want to get back to building my life around this vision again. I'll still upload, but my content will be different. I believe I can become a full-time CEO and director of my streaming platform, giving myself a new 20-year plan, something I'm passionate about. I've lost love for this industry, but I hope the archive of videos on my channel can help millions of young men moving forward. This is a new phase in my life, one I think this audience can grow with me on. I promise you, you guys won't watch the same podcast in 5 years' time, when you have a girlfriend and a full-time professional job. Plus, if I keep repeating the same message in videos over and over, I'm just stringing you guys along, rather than actually trying to make you better. Everything I've ever taught you is everything you'll ever need. Don't keep thinking you need to keep watching all of these creators. It's your time now. Go and take action. Stop funding your favorite YouTuber and actually do something for yourself with that money. I've heard top creators say things like you only need 5 books. Then you have everything that you need. But they want you to watch daily videos of them. I don't see the difference. It's been my pleasure, boys. I've seen thousands of you grow. I've shared so many wins with you guys on my side and yours. Above everything, please keep improving. The male advantage is real. It's now time for me to be living proof. And that's the video, guys. I've got a few little notes I want to wrap up. So that was like me at my kind of saltiest, angriest, everything, just and most annoyed with the industry. And then I scaled it back. So yeah, I think I did a good job there because I don't want any beef. I don't want responses from people and stuff like that. Like, this is just how I feel personally. If other people still want to be in this industry and they still want to do it in their own way, hey, look, that's great. If they still feel as though they're helping men and they feel like they're genuinely making a difference, then go for it. But so I've grabbed the other battery and SIM card and whatever, guys, because it all ran out and like the storage was full. And I did have an outro, but I've made the outro again because I think it'll be. I think it's worth you seeing my face. But I just want to say thank you guys for everything. I want to say thank you because the number of subscribers we've got is insane. I think this community is unbelievable. This has funded my entire life. You know, it got me out of a 9-to-5 job in finance that wasn't bad, but it wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So it's allowed me to travel the world, create products, as you can see down there. And, you know, I've got them on the table here. Like, it's crazy. I've built my own streaming platform. You know, this has been one hell of a journey. So I just want to say thank you to all of you. And this isn't the end of the channel. It's not the end of the brand. It's just the brand's changing. I think it's almost going from First Man to 1M. You know how GQ went from Gentleman's Quarterly to GQ? I think we're doing that now. I think we're going from First Man to 1M, where it's becoming more of an adult-like business, because First Man was great. It's very YouTube-y. It's starting to sound slightly childish to me. I just think 1M is just so strong. And like back in the day, I always used to say this industry is kind of dorky. Like, people look at it and they're like, oh, I can't respect it. It's just a bunch of guys trying to improve. I never thought that was a problem. Like, I love that aspect of it. But if you ever want to get taken seriously and bridge into the real world, nobody has ever done it from this industry. Everybody had always, you know, I'm going to make a course and I'm going to, you know, write a book. That was about as far as people went. And they were happy with that because they'd make 50 to 100 grand a month and they just went, hey, that'll do. I'll keep stacking that away. But I don't think anybody's ever made the bridge to the real world where they're respected, you know. And you know, but some people might say the takes, but I don't think they're really like, anybody that you ask on the street over the age of 25 laughs, scoffs, whatever, right? Which is their choice. I'm not saying that's a fair reaction or whatever, but I'm just saying that's the reaction you get in the real world, in the adult world. People are like, oh, those guys are fools, those guys are whatever. And look, it doesn't matter what they say, but you get my point. And it's quite hard to bridge.
Someone's asking, have you considered turning your channel into a studio where other Manosphere channels with different topics stream? No, I haven't. That only would have worked on the old Tribe Report studio where I had 4 chairs, 4 mics. I had a 4-man setup there. That could have been rented out, but this is just a solo stream setup I have here. I may build a studio to hold conversations later, but I was thinking about branching out and doing more conversations with different people, but everybody is so like mired in drama and fucking stuff I don't want to be a part of, man. I don't want to be associated with some of these people and the shit they're going through. It's just not the message and, you know, the shit I want to put out, the energy I kind of want to put out. I don't want to use my platform for people that are fucking not a force of good in the world for men. They're here to make drama content and be entertainers. And that shit's not mentally stimulating to me to have a conversation with those kind of people. I've had plenty of opportunities. Trust me. People come on the door knocking all the time. Okay, we got the gist of his message. I think he's just walking his subs through his game plan for his channel. But yeah, he's come to a similar realization that I think a lot of us have already. Yeah. Overall good video then. Let's see. Here, why not? We have to do this. We do, because the algorithm rewards this stupid ass video. And that's no offense to, it's complicated. Love the dude. He was a strong supporter of Tribe Report when we were getting struck, and he was constantly asking us to cover his stuff when he was growing as well. Total 100%, dude. I'm with the guy and his content. I love the street interviews. They have an interesting aspect to it. But again, it's like the value dries up at a certain point, which is why he's branching out too and doing like a different delivery method with, for example, this one has Sneeko or whoever. He may sit down and have a conversation with one person, but whatever. Yes, we're going to get tortured for a little bit with probably some brain dead takes, but that's okay. The stupid part is the algorithm rewards videos like this, gets new fresh eyeballs onto the channel, which further leads them deeper into the actual value-based content. So it is what it is, dude. Do I have enough tabs open? I fucking will never have enough tabs open. I have a quantum computer, deal with it.